Hello and welcome to the Cat Scrappiness YouTube channel. My name is Lynn, or LV Handcrafted across all the socials, and today I have the pleasure of introducing you to a brand new stamp and die set that just released. This one is called Pour Yourself a Latte, and it's a large 6x8 stamp set. And check it out. As you can see, there are some really fabulous latte art designs, some of which you don't often see. So that's one of the things that I really love about this set. And it does include a set of coordinating dies to go with it. So for every single image here, there's a die to cut that out, including each of the individual latte art designs. So that makes it really convenient for you to stamp them all out in one go, die cut everything out in one go, and it makes very, very quick work of that. There's also an outline die for the cup itself, and in some of your packages, what you might find is that the original die only had the outline and didn't cut the inside of the handle. So your packaging might actually include not only this die, but the corrected die with that additional cut there. So I love that attention to detail. Really fabulous that Kat got that corrected. And so you might find this in an extra little baggie that is included with the coordinating dies if you do choose to get them. So that's been corrected for you, and you have the benefit of using them both if you'd like. So feel free to keep them and use them both. And let me tell you a little bit more about what you get in this set. So we have 4 different latte art designs and 2 different sort of black coffee designs to fill your cup up with. Then there are 2 different decorative designs that you can use to decorate your mug, which is a really fun, easy way to add a decorative element to your mug. But as well, these are really just gorgeous to use on their own. You could use them as border accents, stamp them out onto your sentiment banners or panels. So really, really lovely that those are standalone because they're designed to fit perfectly onto the mug, but I'm sure you can imagine so many different ways to use those on their own. In terms of size, these are a fabulous size. So the mug itself is 3 1/8 wide by 2 3/16 tall. The steam is 1 3/8 wide by 2 1/8 tall. And these 2 decorative designs are 2 1/4 wide by 1 inch tall. So really fabulous sizes for all of those. And if you don't already know, I am a huge fan of coffee in general and lattes more specifically. I pour myself a latte, homemade latte every morning, and I do pour my own latte art. So I'm very, very honored and so proud and so thankful that Kat actually let me inspire this stamp set. Her illustrators did a fabulous job of bringing my vision to life and adding some of their own amazing art to this stamp set. So I am so excited that finally we get to share this with you. So let me tell you a little bit about latte art, and I'll give you the names of each of these also if you don't already know them. So this is your heart design, and it's one of the easiest latte art designs to pour. The next easiest would be this one, which is a leaf design, sometimes called Rosetta. The next in difficulty would be your tulip design. And then this design, I have not yet mastered, but this is your swan. All of these types of latte art are essentially steamed milk poured into coffee and no other implements or tools to create the designs. So really, really fun. and just very exciting. And so let me actually show you these last two versions, which I don't have here because I actually want to show you one method for lining up your stamped images. And if you want to do what I'm doing, where you're stamping it to combine it all together as one image, here's one method, and there are so many different ways to do this, so find the method that you feel works best for you. But let me show you one way of doing it, and if you know a better way that works better for you, do feel free to do whatever is easiest for you. Find the method that's easiest. So what I've done in advance is I've already stamped out those two plain black coffee versions. And so one thing is you could try to line this up with your stamped image. This is, you can clearly see it's very well loved already. So you could line this up if you want to, just directly. But another trick that you could use is to actually stamp this coffee cup onto a bit of acetate. I used StazOn ink to stamp onto the acetate because StazOn is a nice ink that will adhere well to non-porous surfaces. I've got my paper in my stamp positioning tool here, and then what I can do is I can then line this up so that my mug is exactly how I want it to look against that latte, or well, that one's just coffee, it's not actual latte art. So there you can see everything is lined up. I've got a couple of magnets that are holding down my paper, and then a couple of magnets that are also holding down my acetate. So everything is exactly where I want it. And then now you can put your stamp onto your acetate, and it might be a little bit easier to line up the stamp against the full coffee that's already been stamped out onto the acetate. Okay, so that looks about right. And then what I'll do is close the window on my stamp positioning tool to pick up my stamp. I can remove this now because I was just using this as a way to position and get this onto my stamp, my door here. And then now what I can do is ink this up and stamp. So I'll go ahead and ink this with VersaFine Onyx Black. And give that a nice firm press. And there you can see it is perfectly positioned inside our mug. So that is one way that you can position your mug die and get everything to fit together, and then you can use the mug outline die to die cut everything together. The other way you could do this is these all have coordinating dies, so if you wanted, you could die cut this out and layer it on top if you want to go for a layered look. Lining up the die is also pretty easy. So you just want to line this up so that you, on the inside of the metal, you only see the black outline. So that is because you'll end up, when you die cut, you'll end up with just the smallest little bit of white showing all the way around the border. But to line this up, when you look through the metal, you don't want to see any white. Okay, so here we have our coffee mug perfectly cut out. So that is the Pour Yourself a Latte new stamp and coordinating die set. So many different options for all of you coffee fans out there, all of you latte art fans out there, and there are so many additional coffee themed items from Cat Scrappiness that these new products will coordinate with beautifully. Here's a look at some projects that feature this new stamp set. Pour yourself a latte. Thanks so much, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.